What have I done? Fuck! Oh, the workshop is a mess. What have I done? Have I made a terrible, terrible mistake? Have I made the best decision of my life? We're gonna find out. It doesn't really matter either way, does it? But look at that! I bought a motorbike. Yeah. Doesn't work, of course, but that's not gonna stop us. Let me show you what it is. It's a BSA Bantam D7. So this is made in 1961. It's currently taking the parts because I'm trying to fix it. We'll go through that in a bit. But look, proper old school 3-letter, 3-number number plate, because this doesn't need tax or an MOT. You're thinking that doesn't really make sense, does it? Old cars, surely they would need an MOT even more because they're more unreliable and dangerous. But I suppose if an old car doesn't even have seatbelts, how's it ever going to pass an MOT? It's obviously been restored since 1961, but check it out. Looks fucking cool. I've been indoctrinated into loving motorbikes my entire life. My family's kind of obsessed by motorbikes. So I used to ride motorbikes off-road, had a moped at one point, but I still don't actually have a motorbike license. So I can't ride this thing even if it worked, but we'll get to that later. These are problems to be hurdled down the road, so to speak. If you're getting into like classic motorbiking, this is probably the best kind of entry point for you. Super simple, and they sold so many of these BSA Bantams that there's loads of parts and advice online and stuff. So good place for me, who has not a fucking clue how engines work. Managed to get a fair deal on this. I just took a total punt on eBay, one that seemed actually too good to be true, but it turned out to be a bloody good deal. So £800, and I also got all of these other parts. The workshop is a complete and utter mess. It's a real reflection of my mind. All of these parts here, which is a complete other motorbike. So we'll pause that project for the moment being until this one works. But just the other day I went to the Margate beach race where they ride old motorbikes. I've got an idea in my head, it might be fun to do that next year, but I just put that out into the ether. Yeah, the really nice fella who sold me this even threw in his bike ramp so I could get it in the back of the van, and so yeah, what a nice guy he was. Had me round for a cup of tea. He just decided for various reasons that he doesn't want anything to do with motorbikes anymore, so he's getting into model trains, and he's got a pretty cool shed, I've got to say. Of course, this BSA Bantam has the double seat there, so with a nice badge on the back, because of course the whole point of having a motorbike is so you can put a girl on the back. Come on, let's be real. So as I said, this is not currently working. There's no sign of life, but annoyingly, actually, most things seem to be working, which really makes solving the problem of how it works a lot harder. So basically, in engines, you got to have 3 main components for it to all work, right? So you got to have the fuel, yeah. You've got to have something to ignite the fuel, a spark, yeah, from the spark plug, one of these things down here. Oh, this is a spark plug, and you've also got to have air so that combustion can happen. So doing the basic checks of this, you can check whether there's a spark. We have checked that, and there was a spark, which is now decided to go, so that's another problem, but there was a spark at one point. You can check whether the piston, the combustion chamber, is getting fuel into it, so it's checking all the fuel line down here going into the carburetor, which is basically, it's just a fancy way thing to spurt fuel into the chamber and kind of atomize it so that it has a bigger surface area and burns better. Okay, so taken that off, completely cleaned it, made sure that it's all hunky-dory. That's fine. This is the air intake here. That's fine. So we're getting air, we're getting spark, we're getting fuel, but no life. So got to go deeper and try and figure out what's going on. Of course, you don't just need those three simple components, you also need them to all to happen at the right timing and stuff, and a lot of that happens down here. You can see this is the crank shaft coming through here. So this is there's a piston inside of here, and when that moves up and down, that moves around the crank, which directly through the chain then drives the wheel, well, through the gears and stuff, drives the wheel. So you're turning the up and down motion of the piston into a round to round of the wheel. Okay, and you can see here there is a little spring there, and two contact points here, and around here there's a cam. So one side of this is thinner, one side is thicker. When it goes around, pushes this little plastic bit, which moves with the spring and opens these electrical contact points here, which then sends the high voltage to the spark plug and ignites the fuel at the right time in the throw of the piston, right? Because you've got to compress all of the good stuff in there and then explode it and move the piston back down. And I don't really know what I'm talking about, but you kind of get what it means. So I've adjusted all of this. I bought where's this? This is a feeler gauge. So you got all the different thicknesses here, so you can adjust all of the gaps and things. And there's a gap to adjust on the spark plug just there, and very nicely, fella who sold me this also gave me loads. I've got all the documentation for it going back yonks, and even the Haynes workshop manual. So there's all the information you need in there about the adjustments and stuff. So we think the timing is right, and you can also move this around this stator so that the points here move at a different timing around this cam. Done that to limits. Yeah, so played around with the timing. Okay, we've also done a compression test on this, so that you know that there's no leaky piston rings and stuff, so that you're actually getting that pressure and compression, so you can explode stuff and you're not losing all that energy and stuff. Still nothing. So there's also the fuel mix, because this is a two-stroke engine, and so you actually mix the unleaded petrol with a special type of oil. And I was told at a motorbike shop that this stuff would work, but I am now actually skeptical, and so I have on order some other stuff. So we're going to test the fuel mix, and then God knows, I don't know, I'm just fucking learning this as I go along. The process is just work through the problems one by one, keep solving stuff, keep just replacing stuff until eventually it bloody works. I have been warned that there is a potential problem with these, especially when they've been sat around for a while, that the crank seals go, which mean that underneath the piston you start losing oil and pressure. I don't know, I guess I don't really know what I'm doing, but I do know that that is a much more involved problem, and so I want to rule out everything else before I start dismantling everything. And I do want to make a point, because I always I'm very conscious that YouTube videos and stuff, they all seem very idyllic and stuff and very Instagram friendly and things, and like, oh, isn't my life fucking great? I've got a motorbike. Yes, it is, but also it doesn't fucking work and it's really annoying me. But what I've learned lately, and you didn't expect this from this motorbike video, did your life advice, you got to run towards the problems. The problems are the direction to happiness and solution. So any problem you have in your life, fucking run towards it and confront it. Don't avoid it. Got to run towards it, and then there lies the happiness. So if you're feeling bad about yourself, tell everybody that you're shit. If you're insecure about something, just be honest about it, you know, and then suddenly it will disappear.
Right, so the process of elimination, we have taken the carburettor completely off and just squirted some fuel directly into the chamber and then kicked it over, and there's still no life. So it's not a fuel problem. It is not a fuel problem because there's fuel in there. So it has to be the spark. It's got to be the spark. And even if the timing was a bit off, there'd be some kind of fucking life in there. So I've already replaced the points and put a different condenser on there. It's like a capacitor. So you'd think, if you know all the synth repair stuff, it's normally the capacitors that go first. So that has been changed. Another thing to change is the coil. This thing, so this is what I'm doing right now, is taking this off and trying a different one. Luckily, I've got loads of other parts, enough parts to build an entire other motorbike, so I actually have a coil in here that I can use.
Just squidgy a bit. That's quite a lot. Oh, it's not going to come under live now.
Whoa, quite smoky in here. I'm not going to stay here for long because I'm going to pass out. But yeah, the coil was the bloody problem. Damn it. So yeah, I've got to go get a different HT lead for it because this one here is too short. And yeah, but finally found a solution. Yes. Okay, so got the carb back on and put some like plumbing tape on that joint there, so it definitely won't leak. I just put the old condenser back on because the new one that I got didn't fit properly, so I got to test whether that works. Pretty sure it probably does. Got to reassemble all of this. I'm going to leave this off for now, just in case I want to adjust the timing, and then got to oil the throttle cable because it's getting stuck at the moment, which is not ideal. So I've got this little tool here and you can do that with. Was a bit frayed in there as well, so I'm just going to cut these little bits off because I think they were making it get stuck. Oh!
Go on, give it a bit. Sounds like the timing needs a bit of a wiggle.
Oh, because it's an old British bike, the gears are on this side. Well, I've got to use to this side, so we'll see how this goes. 1 down, 2 up, 3 speed. No front brake. Happy days. Right, so it works. There's a few problems, quite a lot of problems actually, but we'll tinker with those and get it all sorted pretty soon, and then I just gotta get, you know, a license, and then I can actually ride it on the road. So I will see you very soon around the streets of Thanet in a bit.